Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, we have the big bomb. The big decision is about Antoine Semenyo. What happened, what's happening, all the inside stories. Let's jump into it together. Here we are guys, the Bomba around Christmas had to arrive. I told you the decision was imminent for Antoine Semenyo, and here we are with a here we go expected very soon. Unless we have a final twist in this saga, Antoine Semenyo is expected to become a new Manchester City player. The here we go is expected very soon, and so let me recap what's happening, what happened in this absolutely crazy transfer saga involving many different clubs, many different people, a big battle that Manchester City are about to win until the deal is done, is sealed. Never say never, but in this case, Man City are at the final stages to get Antoine Semenyo from Bournemouth. What happened over the last few days in general, guys, one important update I gave you earlier in the week is that Tottenham were really prepared to pay the release clause, £65 million for Semenyo and get the player, but Semenyo didn't want to proceed with that solution. So Semenyo was not convinced by Tottenham as an opportunity. Then, even before that, Liverpool in November called, it was the second half of November, called to ask about the situation of Semenyo. Okay, how is the release clause? £65 million, payment terms, can we negotiate? How would that work? Liverpool wanted to understand the general situation around Semenyo on Bournemouth and player side, but then they didn't follow up with any bid so far. Liverpool always called to be informed on the situation, also because the relationship between Liverpool and Bournemouth is very good. Also, the Liverpool director, Richard Hughes, is a former Bournemouth director, so the connection is very good. But Liverpool didn't follow up with the bid even after the injury of Alexander Isak. They always called, also this week, to understand the situation, but never presented an official proposal to the player. Then we had the Manchester battle, Manchester United, Manchester City. I've been telling you that Manchester United, in the conversations they had with Antoine Semenyo, made clear that they were even prepared to change the system to welcome Antoine Semenyo at the club. So Semenyo was not going to play wing back. The idea of Man United was even to open doors to a different system with Semenyo up front. But despite an important financial effort, because United, especially yesterday, made an important financial effort to try to get the player. Despite their tactical effort to welcome Semenyo, to try to find the best tactical way, they didn't get the green light from Antoine Semenyo. And so there was Manchester United pushing. There was Chelsea. Chelsea in the morning, let's say Monday night, Tuesday morning, they started conversation with the agents of Antoine Semenyo. Chelsea spoke to them. Chelsea presented their idea around the player, but then after speaking on player side, Chelsea decided in the afternoon to leave the race and leave the conversation for Antoine Semenyo. So talks over around 5 p.m. In Italy to discuss the possibility of Antoine Semenyo going to Chelsea. So Chelsea decided not to proceed, and also on Semenyo's side, they decided to focus on different options. So Spurs out, the player didn't want to go. The situation with Liverpool, calling and calling, but never presented an official bid. Chelsea, there was no feeling between Chelsea and Semenyo in the conversation, so the player didn't want to proceed, and Chelsea didn't want to proceed, so both sides decided to leave this conversation. And then with Manchester United and Manchester City, the player who always wanted to open doors to his future move early and not to arrive at the final hours of the release clause, because remember that the release clause, £65 million, as I told you, is going to expire on the 10th of January. So it's not during the whole window. It's a short period of time and also made an impact. The player had to and wanted to decide as soon as possible. My understanding is that Manchester City, in the last 12 hours, as I was posting on my accounts, have been really insisting. Let's say since the early morning. City have been very clear with Semenyo. We want you. We believe you can be a big part of our team. City also presented, like Man United and all the others, a tactical approach for Semenyo. He can play as a winger, but Man City also believe in some cases he can play in a more central position when needed. So Man City sees Semenyo as a perfect option in terms of speed, in terms of quality, in terms of goal contributions, in terms of physicality, something that they wanted to add to the squad for the second half of the season and the future, of course, because it's going to be a very long contract. So this contact between Manchester City and Semenyo has been very positive. Pep Guardiola has been part of the conversation. Pep Guardiola approved this possibility to go for Antoine Semenyo. The idea was directly by the director, Ugo Viana. Ugo Viana, in the last 12 hours, has been pushing a lot. Something like, okay, we want you. We consider you a top target. We are prepared to make an effort. But at the same time, we want an answer as soon as possible. Man City were never going to wait until the first week of January to get a decision from Antoine Semenyo. They wanted it as soon as possible. City wanted to see a player convinced to join them, not a player that was not so sure. And Semenyo was immediately convinced, and Semenyo decided to indicate Manchester City as his favorite destination. So that's what happened in the recent minutes, in the recent hours. Now, what's going to happen next before we have the here we go for Antoine Semenyo to Manchester City? Man City have the preference of the player. Now, Manchester City will speak to Bournemouth in the next couple of days. Man City and Bournemouth will negotiate and will have the opportunity to sit at the table and decide. Pay the release clause is the only way, £65 million, or maybe negotiate. The value is going to be 65, but maybe you can include the opportunity with different payment terms. It happens in football sometimes. This is just my hypothesis. It's not something that is going to happen in this case. We will see, but you can negotiate maybe to pay instead of 65, 67, 68, but in several years and not just in 1 or 2 years. So there will be a discussion, there will be a negotiation, Man City, Bournemouth. Sometimes there are also players who could be part of the conversation. So we will see what's going to happen. But Man City have the preference of the player. And in any case, Man City can trigger the release clause. So the deal is ready. Now it's on Manchester City and Bournemouth to decide how they want to structure this deal. And this conversation will start very soon. Then, guys, until the deal is signed and completed, we have to be careful till the very end, because in this kind of crazy sagas, anything can always happen. Maybe one of these clubs can try to return in the race, can try to convince the player, never say never. But as of tonight, Man City have the preference of Antoine Semenyo. Man City believe they won this crazy race for Antoine Semenyo. And the reaction from Man United is, okay, we tried our best, tactical, financial, because Man United made their best effort. But Amorim indicated the way. We want players who want to be at Manchester United, who want to wear this shirt. We don't want players who are not convinced. Gyökeres last summer was not convinced. The Champions League football, no Champions League football. Okay, game over. Semenyo, they had a feeling that maybe he was not that convinced. Because trust me, United, since last week and during the last 6-7 days, Man United have been pushing like crazy to get Semenyo. But from player side, now the preference is Manchester City. We will follow the next steps of this deal. And so guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these details of the story. Antoine Semenyo, Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool and all the rest. What a crazy battle. Let me know your opinion, guys, here in the comments on this story. As always, remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel every day we are here. I'll see you soon. Ciao.